So hello and welcome back to Go Again Gaming and the league that means nothing here on the channel. I'm your host, my name's Az, and I'm the creator of the league, the editor, all that good stuff. And yeah, Go Again Gaming has been going from strength to strength because of this league, and I hope you're all enjoying it. I'm a little bit ill, but I thought I'd come on to cast a few games this round. So yeah, bear with me. Hopefully my voice is still audible at least for you guys and girls and whatever you might be out there watching this. But yeah, we got an interesting one today. We got Louis Cisneros, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong there, on Victor, and my good buddy Andres on Bravo. So a good old-fashioned Guardian battle, throwing big haymakers, big anothoses, and yeah, lots of big numbers hopefully. So let's see how it goes, but let's hear a message from our sponsors first. Another sponsor for The League That Means Nothing Season 3. It's Az here talking about Void Games out of Crewe in Cheshire. Tom, Big Boss Book Club on Twitter, does run this shop, and he's had some fantastic events so far. He's had Skirmish Season, of course, the ProQuest as well that we streamed on Go Again Gaming. So just a fantastic shop that's got a lot going for it, and in the future it's going to have a lot more events as well, hopefully going forward. So make sure you go and check them out when you can. Pop in the store. It's a great little shop. There might be some images or videos flashed up here for you, but thanks for Tom for sponsoring The League That Means Nothing Season 3 and being an advocate for just casually gaming in all forms of different systems and different tabletop games. So yeah, cheers Tom, and let's get on with the tournament. So we got Andres going first. Sorry, not Andres, Louis going first, and we're just going to be starting off pitching a Thunk to come in with an Anothos for 4. Both players rocking the exact same armor suite here. Andres deciding to block with a Debilitate and just take 1. But yeah, both players rocking the exact same equipment suite, including the weapon as well. So we're not seeing... or Louis is just going to heave a Thunderquake into his arsenal as well and get 3 Seismic Surges. So that's a good little start. Nice little setup. Heave as well is a great way of reducing all of your Guardian attacks. You don't necessarily have to use it on the Thunderquake that's been established. You could still reduce the cost of another Guardian attack in hand. So that's always pretty good. Couple of resources on the front end, but Andres is going to lead with a Zealous Belting. This is going to be coming in for 5 with Go Again, because obviously there is a Buckling Blow which has higher power than Zealous Belting in the pitch zone, so this is coming in for 5 with Go Again, and this is probably what these Guardians will lean upon. We are seeing a Test of Strength, which is going to be a 4 block, but it's going to invoke a Clash, Golden Sun being revealed against a Pummel, so Louis is going to win that clash there. And, yeah, we are going to get some gold from Victor's ability. As in post-production, didn't know why Victor got 2 gold there, but it's because of the fact that Golden Sun is revealed to a clash, so you get a gold from that. So that's all good. But as I was saying, yeah, Zealous Belting into Anothos is going to be one of those game states that these Guardians are going to want to get into, because obviously this is the way that Guardian can go wide. Guardian is great at blocking big singular attacks, but attacks spread over a couple of attacks here, Zealous Beltings, E-Strikes, and the like, Rouse the Ancients, that's going to be what will probably close out these games of the Guardian mirrors here, because that's the way that you can go wide with Guardian. So Louis is just contemplating what he wants to block with here. It looks like it's just going to be... I don't know what that card is. I can't remember which one that is. I'm not a Guardian stan. I've enjoyed a bit of Bravo in the past, but only because he's got a plethora of ridiculous specialization cards. Let's be honest, Bravo's got some ridiculous specializations. Starstruck, Crippling Crush, you know the ones. Seismic Surges are going to crack for Louis on his turn. So the next Guardian attack is going to be reduced by 3, which is pretty good. We know those Guardian attacks are absolutely costly. Guardians needing a lot of blues, but we are just going to send that Thunderquake that we established last turn, pitching a Rouse the Ancients there, and that's a good end game strategy, is getting your Rouses to the bottom, because obviously they're the ones that will allow you to go wider towards the end game. So Louis just happy to throw a big 8 attack here back at Bravo's face with the Thunderquake, which he established on turn 1. So that's good.
I do love these matches where you're just seeing big numbers being thrown. And we are seeing the first armor block with the Gauntlets of Iron Will. He's going to take the rest of it, take the 6. That's the first blood to the armor, at least. It's another thing that we have to batter down the defences of, is the armor. Both players know that obviously it's going to be a bit of a grindier game, leaning on that tunic to get that extra resource from time to time. It's going to open up some lines for both players. They're both rocking the exact same equipment suite. Andres running some beautiful Enigma sleeves and a fantastic Japanese Crippling Crush playmat. But here we see a Chokeslam be played. A 3-card 8. Sometimes that is Guardian for you. You've got a couple of reds and a yellow in hand. Can't really do much, but you can still throw an interactive, powerful attack. Coming in for 8. Your Arsenal is still there. And Andres matching the Thunderquake with a Chokeslam. And Louis matching the defense by chucking in the Gauntlets here, as Andres did last turn, and following it up with also a Sink below. So that's pretty good. Going to be covering up the Crush effect there as well. Obviously, it's going to be blocking for 5. And obviously, Crush needs to deal 4 or more damage. Obviously, it's just going to be dealing 3. So Louis having that Sink below at the right time there to stop the Crush effect. And establishing a counter on the Gauntlets similar to Andres. So pretty even at the moment. Same sort of equipment board state. Now we are going to see Louis come in with his first wide attack with the Zealous Belting coming in for 5. And again, this is the card that allows the Guardians to leak a lot of damage. We are just seeing a block with the Buckling Blow. Andres is going to take 2 damage there. Let's see what Louis got to follow this up. Pitching another Thunk and using a Tunic resource to come in with a Golden Sun. Getting rid of a gold. Coming in for 10 overpower. That's a good card. And Andres having no chance or no other choice but to take 7 damage here. Blocking from that Macho Grande. Taking 7 damage. Going down to 24 with a 10 life differential here now. Golden Sun really doing some work. Not only did it get an extra gold off of the Clash, off of the Test of Strength earlier, it's now coming in for 10 with Overpower. And obviously, Andres can only block with 1 action card as a result. My voice is starting to go. I'm just seeing an Anothos be swung back from Andres. Coming in for 4. Unfortunately, not turned on because of the power or the card costs in the pitch zone. There's only 1. It's the Cranial Crush. And Louis just saying, yep, I'll block that with a... Is that a Disable? And we are seeing a Pummel come in here. So it's just going to be a raw damage attack, buffing it to 10, which means that obviously Louis is going to take some damage over the top. And that's a cool trick that you can do with Pummel. Obviously, you pitch a card into it to play it, and then obviously Anothos sees that you've got 2 cards with cost 3 or greater in the pitch zone, so then it pumps itself as well. I've been caught out many times with that on the Anothos. So you're basically getting +6 if you've pitched it correctly, basically. That's exactly what Andres did there. Just to force some damage through, obviously not getting the discard effect on the club or hammer weapon attack, because obviously it's not an attack action, so you don't get the discard on it. A lot of people do forget that as well. They're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I have to discard, but no, you don't, actually. If it's an Anothos, it's just extra damage. A lot of people forget that sometimes. They're just so used to Pummel stripping cards from hand, they're just like, yep, okay, I'll discard. No, you don't have to. It's okay. And here we see more go wide shenanigans with Louis. He's just opting to chuck it in for 7 this time, though, but the modality of E-Strike is just fantastic. And in this case, Louis just wants to be able to Arsenal card, chuck in a 7 damage attack. Still got a little bit of a life lead here. Andres is off the Arsenal. And in this case, Andres happy to just chuck a Chokeslam and a Terra Sunder under it. Tear asunder under it. Tear asunder under it. Tear asunder under it. Taking 1 and then just following up with a hammer on his turn for 4. And sometimes Guardians are just happy to do this. Just throw their hammer constantly, establish an arsenal, be a little bit more patient with what you want to do and how you want to build up to it. And that's exactly what Andres is doing now, just throwing a hammer out for 4. Classic Guardian play. It also looks like as well that both players' tunics are established on 3. So that can give them a little bit of extra room, depending on what they want to do. Louis thinking long and hard about this block, but it's just going to be a thunk by the looks of it. Taking 1. Now 26 will play 23. At least I think that's how the saying goes. The person whose turn it is playing. The 26 is playing. I don't know. I'm not a caster. God knows. But I can be whatever I want to be. It's my channel. There we go. So we're seeing another Golden Sun, cashing in that other gold there. So the Golden Sun's paying for themselves here, coming in for another 10 with Overpower. It's pretty savage. See Andres toying with a Spinal Crush block and then potentially taking 7. We do have 2 floating on Louis' end. Is this going to be a pummel? It is not. Okay. All right. But still, Louis having some successful turns at leaking damage. Bravo yet to send his first big dominated attack. Louis just being able to find the evasion and the go wide. And here we are seeing an Anothos with a Tear Asunder behind it. This is going to be coming in for 7. Because obviously the pitch is correct. And obviously the +1 from the Tear Asunder. So this is creating quite an awkward breakpoint for Louis. And if it hits, it's going to have to discard 2 cards. The fact that this can work on the Anothos is crucial here. We still do have some armor to play with on both sides. And that's exactly what we're going to see here. We're going to see a Crown of Providence, Civic Steps, and maybe 1 card from hand to block 7. So that's 2-2 and now needs a 3, right? Okay, all right. Just going to take the 4. The 3, sorry. He's going to draw from the Crown of Providence, and now he's going to have to discard 2 cards. Interesting decision, because it could have been blocked, I imagine, from hand. Just had to cover 3 there. Obviously, the armor is blocking 2 and 2, and obviously it's coming in for 7, so you just need an extra 3 block from hand. So the fact that he's choosing to take the damage here and discard 2 cards is an interesting decision, but we don't know what is in the arsenal. Still going to be following up with 3 cards with a Tunic resource available, so that could be worth noting. Andres now does have a Quicken as well, so depending on how Andres' hand looks next turn, he can really get some good value out of Guardian attacks having go again, that's for sure. So we'll see how that plays out. And here we go. Perfect response. An E-Strike. 4-7. Louis finding all of his versatile cards in the spots where he needs them. Still holding on to a life lead. Having cashed in a little bit of extra equipment here. We are going to see Tear Asunder and Gauntlets. Soak up 4 damage. He's going to take 3. It's over to Andres' turn now. So he does have a Quicken at his disposal. So he's going to be able to throw any attack. There is a Zealous Belting in Arsenal, so obviously he's sort of saving that for a go-wide turn. we don't need that in this particular scenario because Anathos will have go again from the Quicken token, so we can just throw that first. Coming in for 6. With go again. And we still do have the Tunic available as well, by the looks of it. So depending on what's in hand here, we can throw, with that Tunic trigger, we can throw a 2 attack after this. So it might be a generic 2 attack, like a CNC or something. We are blocking with the card from the Round the Table product, but I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, and we are seeing the Tunic be used to throw a CNC. There we go, lovely old job. Yeah, so keeping the Zealous Belting in Arsenal definitely makes sense. It'll allow you to go wide another turn, and the numbers just aren't as good if you throw that Zealous, right? So definitely makes sense to do this sequence here. Nicely crafted. And we are just going to see Louis follow up with a Nothos for 4. Seeing a block with a Debilitate, and Andres just going to take the 1. Andres has got 4 cards to come back with here. Tunic being placed, counter on Tunic. And now we're just going to see a Bravo activation for the first time. And we are going to come in with a Choke Slam for 8. So this does have Dominate. And obviously if this hits and deals crush damage, the opponent can't gain power during their next action phase. So that's pretty good. So we are going to see a commitment from the Gauntlets. Oh, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Louis just had the breakpoint defense there to get round the crush effect, and that is very important block there. Just having those right cards available save the crush effect from happening. Maybe Andres was hoping for that little bit of interaction there. We are going to see a Macho Grande come out here using that Tunic trigger. So the crush effect wouldn't really have mattered this turn. But still, a Macho Grande for 8 Dominate, utilising that Tunic trigger to come in with a Macho Grande. Andres having the immovable, though, is pretty good. So he is going to be blocking 7 and taking 1. That wasn't played from the Arsenal, so it's not blocking for 8. But still, that is one of the answers you have to big dominated attacks is a big D-react like unmovable. Classic card. We're not going to see the Anothos come in here for 6. So Andres just responding with a big hammer attack. And this is what Guardians are all about. Louis going to say, yeah, I'm going to chuck this Choke Slam in front of it and take 3. Go down to 14, yeah. These Guardians happy to just block with a few cards, chuck a few cards back, block with a few cards, chuck a few cards back. And I think towards this stage of the game, a lot of them are going to be looking for that E-Strike or that Zealous Belting into another attack, going too wide rather than just chucking big attacks. That's what they're looking for right now. They're looking for those go wide turns or their evasive attacks, like Dominates or Overpowers, etc. That's what these players are looking for right now. And at the moment, they're just happy to just chuck big attacks at each other, trying to get through their decks as quickly as they can to try and find those game closer turns. And Choke Slam can be relevant. Obviously, it can turn off Anothos's power gaining effect. But apart from that, I don't think it does too much if you do get crushed by it. It doesn't get too much. But we are seeing a Starstruck Unity trigger here, because obviously it's defending with Crippling Crush, so Andres is going to get a Seismic Surge on the block there, which is pretty cool to see. Just going to go back over to Andres now. He's going to put a counter on Tunic. Seismic Surge is going to crack off. Now he's just going to follow up with a Zealous Belting. Obviously, it's going to have go again because the Macho Grande is in the pitch zone. So this does have 5 with go again, but not sure if there is any follow-up after this. Don't think Andres has anything else that could be done here. We are just going to see a Civic Sept block for 1 and a choke slam. So we are going to cover that up, cover 4 of that up, and take 1. And Andres is going to get a quicken token. So the quickens are really interesting in this matchup because that's how you leak a lot of damage. That's what a lot of players are going towards. This is Zealous Beltings, E-Strikes, follow up with another card or a hammer. So giving the opponents quicken tokens this late in the game. Andres still does have his Civic Steps up available to block with as well if needed. But we are just going to see a CNC come in, which is a perfect little attack here from Louis, threatening the arsenal that Andres has just established on his last turn. Looks like we are going to see the equipment be used here. So we are going to see the Crown of Providence and 2 other cards. It's blocking for 8 right now. Maybe just thinking there could be a pummel behind this, potentially. If there is, I'm going to lose a lot more. Yeah. So that's exactly what Andres is thinking. Probably thinking if I just try and protect my arsenal here and save just in case there's a pummel, I'm going to chuck everything else in front of it. But he is giving Louis a quicken token now, which is a little bit of a dangerous spot to be in, because I'm not sure if he's going to be able to capitalise on his own quicken token that Louis gave him earlier. So we'll see. E-Strike with go again, choosing to draw a card to fulfill the arsenal. So yeah, quicken not really being utilised here, which is a bit of a shame. But we are going to be able to at least arsenal a card at the end of this turn. Louis is going to block with another test of strength. We are going to clash, revealing a spinal and a spinal. So it is a draw in that regard. So no clear winner there, both revealing the spinal crushes. And Louis is just going to say, yep, I take the 1. And we are going to see a Bravo activation. Okay, we did have a follow-up. That's cool. That's good. So we're just going to see a Bravo activation to filter 1 card out of hand and then come in for 6. And of course, it's not actually filtering. It's actually just making sure there's another card in the pitch zone to buff up this attack by 2. Completely forgot about that. So yeah, good utilization of Bravo's ability there to just get something else into the pitch zone to pump up the hammer by another 2. So that was a pretty good little turn there. The E-Strike allowing Andres to draw a card which he could use as resources to just throw a wider attack. So yeah, it turned out that he was able to utilise the quicken token, which is good. But we are going to see Louis now come in with a Visit the Goldmain Estate. So he's going to draw a card from Victor's ability. So he's going to create a gold off of the Goldmain Estate, draw a card, and now he's going to come in with the Anothos. Again for 6. This does have a quicken token behind it, so we are going to be able to follow this up afterwards as well. Just going to see a clean block there with a spinal and a crippling. Quicken goes away, and is there a follow-up from Louis here? Doesn't look like there is. Which is fine. Happy to just go visit the Goldmain Estate from time to time and just get some gold. Apparently, whenever you visit the Goldmain Estate, you just create gold. I don't know. I want to go to a place like that. You know, if you can just go visit somewhere and get paid for doing so, sounds pretty good to me. Imagine just turning up at Goldmain Estate and been getting paid gold for doing so. But we are going to see a Golden Sun come in here, which is obviously why he chose to do the Goldmain Estate without doing all the might stuff, is that we've established a gold for another overpowered 10 here from the Golden Sun. Victor really finding a lot of these cards that he needs to find this stage of the game. Andres can only block with one action card, so he's choosing to block with the action card and a pummel. So it looks like he's going to pummel that as well. And we are going to see an unmovable as a response. Interesting exchange there. Louis trying to force over as much damage as possible, and Andres having the D-react to soak up some of it. It's going to go down to 6 apiece here. Andres just passing back. Now we see Louis come in with another visit the Goldmain Estate. Of course, he's going to draw a card from Victor's ability. He's going to have 2 floating. So just visiting the Goldmain Estate as much as possible in the late game here to get paid to come in with a big Spinal Crush for 9. Obviously, this will, if it crushes, not allow Andres to gain go again on any of their attacks next turn. That is going to be fully blocked. That's it. Louis is just going to draw up. Andres does still have another block on the Civic Steps here, so the life may be tied, but he does have another point of block on that Civic Steps. Louis is just finding these E-strikes now coming in for 5 with go again. As we said earlier, these are the moments where you're going to have to commit a lot more to prevent you from dying. That's exactly what Andres is doing here. He's having to use a card and equipment just to try and soak up this extra damage here. And that's giving Louis the ability to go wide towards the end of the game with another generation of a Quicken token. This isn't looking good, unfortunately. We are going to see the Tunic be used for a follow-up with a Macho Grande. Absolutely insane. We are going to see Andres drop to 1 life here after that insane follow-up. Wow. E-strike into Macho Grande. Wow. Going wide and evasive. Andres just going to respond with a CNC. Just raw damage at this point, because obviously there's no arsenal established. And Louis is going to block with another test of strength. It's going to gain another gold from that clash here. That's the great thing about Test of Strength, but obviously it's not a D-react, it is just a block, but it still has the same defense value as a lot of the D-reacts out there. So it does skirt around Command and Conquer and soak up a little bit more damage than most cards do, which is pretty nice. And he's got a gold from it. Now 4-1. 4 plays 1. Is Victor going to be able to close this one out against the Bravo? Coming in with a Spinal Crush for 9. 1 floating. It's 3 cards. It's 3 cards at least. So we're going to see a reaction. It's going to be another unmovable. Pitching another unmovable. So Andres able to weather the storm a little bit, but he's just not going to have a turn of his own here. Just going to draw back up. Pass it back over to Louis. And if Louis can find any go wide shenanigans or any evasion here, it looks like Andres is going to be on the ropes. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Arouse the Ancients coming in 4-7 with Go Again. These are the cards that close out games. We are going to see Andres chuck 3 cards in front of that 7. That breakpoint really just being a menace here. Now we're going to see a CNC, which is just... There it is. GG's. Wow. So, yeah. We saw how effective towards the end game there those go wide attacks, those quicken tokens came in. And it was all about seeing how those players utilise those in those last moments. That was a really cool game. Not one that we see often. Victor versus Bravo, especially at the moment. Guardian isn't really being represented too much, apart from, you know, a lot of Jarl hype. So yeah, I just thought I'd cover that one. And yeah, congratulations to Louis, who's now 2-0 in this league with Victor. So it's going to be interesting to see how he goes and how he progresses through the tournament. But well played, Andres. It's always good to see you play Bravo. Absolutely love seeing you play the deck. And that's pretty much it for this week. I've been Az from Go Again Gaming, obviously. And yeah, see you all over again very soon. Cheers, folks. Goodbye.